The Godfather Returns. Let's see if they can make us an offer we cannot refuse, guys. Because The Godfather Returns, we already talked about it last time. Last time we talked about it, The Godfather Returns with a recut of The Godfather Part 3. We were wondering if it was a little bit of a money grab or not. But we're not going to talk about that now. So if you wanted to see that video, check it out on our channel. Because now there will be new original footage coming from the Godfather universe, so to say. And it's not a new Godfather movie, but it's a movie about the making of process of the Godfather. I don't know if you guys know a bit about it, but there's a lot of trouble behind the scenes with the Godfather. Francis Ford Coppola, the director, was at the time just 31 years old, and he wanted to move the location of the movie from, if I'm correct, Kansas City to New York. That was one of the things, and he wanted Marlon Brando as the lead. For the part of Don Corleone, of course, and the studio had some different faults on those things. So that apparently led to a lot of arguments behind the scenes. And they decided now to make an actual movie about these arguments and everything that happened. And this week, the news came that the movie will be named Francis and the Godfather. Francis, of course, Francis Ford Coppola. And it will star these guys, Jake Gyllenhaal and Oscar Isaac. Jake Gyllenhaal will play the role of the studio head at that time of Paramount, Mr. Evans. And Oscar Isaac, well, you guessed it, maybe by the beard, he will play Francis Ford Coppola in this movie. So that's some interesting news. What do you guys think when you hear about a making of, or a movie about the making of Godfather? Koen.
Interesting, yeah. This is one of my favorite trilogies ever made and that I saw. I don't know so much about Coppola, which is actually maybe my bad, because if I like his movies, maybe I should have dipped a bit more in his him as a person. But it's very interesting to see. I like also both actors. I like Oscar Isaac a lot.
Yeah.
Also Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a very nice picture of him on the left with his golden chain and his Miami Vice outfit. But very interesting. He has to. I'm curious how they make him look, because of course Coppola looks different than Isaac. The beard, of course, is a bit similar.
You can see it here. The beard is similar.
Yeah. So. Interesting. I'm curious also who they're gonna cast. You know already who they're gonna cast for the other stars? No,
there's not much known yet for who will play Fredo or
is it about? Is it one movie about all three of the production, or only about a particular?
I think from what I read now, it's just about the first movie. So of course after the first one, which was quite successful, then it becomes a lot easier for a director to decide on or get people behind your decisions, so to say. Then the studio says, of course, like, okay, sure, do what you want. But for the first movie, he was, of course, 31, which is quite young for a director. Yeah. And he wanted to change the location because it's, of course, based on a novel by Mario Puzo. And that novel was based in, apparently, Kansas City. I didn't read it, but that was the location. And now he wanted to move to New York, which I think is very crucial to the movie. I think it's very... it really contributes that it takes part in New York. What do you think, Sven? You're also a fan?
I'm not a fan.
No, not a fan of The Godfather?
No, but I'm really...
You're married to an Italian woman. What is this?
I just assumed like that, yeah.
I never understood really the fuss about it. Of course, I've seen it, and I like it, but I'm not a big fan of I'm not digging the theme of mafiosi movies, but and I think
in general,
what I appreciated more a modern mafiosi movies. But okay, let's not get into this discussion. Of course, I've seen them, and I really like that they, if it's true, or maybe they blow the story a bit up, that they found some that they're gonna focus on the conflict. Between cool. And I think this is maybe we can expect a little Godfather theme within within
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
exactly, yeah.
and I hope that they're not gonna do it over the top, but they do it
We don't want the line, "I'm gonna make you an offer you cannot
exactly.
refuse."
no.
The head of the directors or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
the board.
But it makes
Come on.
makes it maybe more realistic and actual and easier to understand or to imagine. It could be, well, like a lot of people experience this on work at companies. I mean, politics is everywhere, you know.
Yeah,
if you work at a big company, there's politics, and I think maybe this movie can tell that story or visualize that, and I think that will be so. It would be a more mafiosi for dummies story, you know, for us.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, exactly. Like there was no movie, but I think it was a documentary about the first Star Wars boss. You saw that, I think, no, with George Lucas. It really showed how also he had to fight and struggle even to get a budget to make a movie that no one understood the script of,
exactly.
The actors.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's very interesting how he made these things, and like that movie was also really interesting how they make the set, of course, with all these small little spaceships, because how they make it look real. But of course, with the Godfather, of course, it's also like they had a huge star with
Brando.
Marlon Brando, exactly. And which also, if I hear the stories correctly, he also wasn't the easiest man to work with, I think.
No.
He was quite a diva, I remember, if I hear the stories correct. So, yeah, very interesting to see. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm also excited about it. I wouldn't maybe be that excited, though. I really love The Godfather, so I think I would take any content of The Godfather, so to say. But what really enthusiasts me is the inclusion of Oscar Isaac and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I like them. It gives it quite some star power, by the way. It's directed by Barry Levinson, who did in the 90s Rain Man and Good Morning Vietnam, 2 movies I really love also. So that gives me the feeling, I get the feeling like what kind of movie this will be. It will really be a quality movie, I think, if you see the names that are attached to it. They will really take the matters very seriously.
Good dialogues, I think we can expect.
Exactly, so that makes me enthusiastic for this. But what you said, Koen, Star Wars, well, we might see at some point also a making of Star Wars movie, because it seems a bit like this is going to be the trend in Hollywood now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we got a David Fincher movie coming up about the making of process of Citizen Kane. We got a Ben Affleck movie about the making of process of Chinatown. So apparently there's a whole new thing going on, making movies about making movies.
But it's also, I think, a bit teaching us history a bit. Like, we had there, like, Citizen Kane is a movie that I'm ashamed to say it on this channel I have never seen fully. So
I've seen it last year. I loved it.
Okay, so the thing is, like, every movie, when a couple talks about what movie you have to see, they always talk about Citizen Kane, right? It's nice that also the younger generation, this, like, we're still young, but I mean, guys and girls who are like 15, 16, they also get to know more about.
It's like covering music, you know. That was also this trend that they put all these classic songs by current artists, so to say to
give it to the new audience again. Which if you do it good, and there are a lot of examples, of course, of this, it's very interesting. That also. I like a lot if there are, for instance, A Star Is Born, that movie that won a lot of prizes. It was an original, of course. It was already like a movie back in the day.
I think it's already 4 times.
If you don't do it pure out of the money image, but if there's a really good movie, you want to do it like that they make now Lord of the Rings, they make a show, is also very interesting, because you give the fans what they want. If you make already now new movies, that's just trying to make money, you know. Same with Star Wars. You need to take time and give a younger audience, what Sven also says, give them also an introduction to these, they're huge pieces of history, especially The Godfather, and also, but then we can expect, of course, way more things, you know. We can, there are a lot of like huge movies that we can see maybe the coming years, and also an editor's view into it, you know. Well, interesting.
Definitely. So it's something we will keep an eye on. There's not much known yet for the rest of it, no release date. Just this actress that has been announced, and then the name of the movie, Francis and the Godfather. But we will keep an eye on it on this channel, and if there's more to report on it, we will come with it and discuss about the latest things. Koen, you want to say one last thing?
The daughter of Coppola was in the third movie only, or the second movie already? Yeah, so if they talk only about the first one, I thought maybe also there's a huge struggle with putting her, like, maybe the board wasn't okay with putting her in a movie, you know?
No, that's the third one, yeah.
That was the third
but
one.
By that time, Coppola had all the power.
He had all the power in the world, exactly,
yeah. So.
It's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's the news on the Godfather making-of movie, Francis and the Godfather. Let us know what you think about it. Are you excited for this? Are you excited about this trend of making-of movies, so to say? Let us know in the comments and give us a little like if you liked it. Then this was it for now, and see you next time.